Welcome to this Twin Flame Soulmate reading for January 7th to January 14th. Oh, we got cards popping out. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got the King of Pentacles first, and the King of Pentacles is telling me that there is a solid foundation and solid information finally coming to people regarding love. And I'm starting out with my antique Latin tarot cards as the foundation for what's going on. Let me get these shuffled. Yeah, that feels right. Actually, I don't want to cut these too much. Past, present, near future, distant future. Okay. So the first things that I'm seeing here is that in the past you met your twin flame soulmate, higher soulmate relationship, and it was like your heart came alive, like you were born in love and in that moment, and you finally felt like the love that you had been looking for was delivered to you. You finally gave in to that. But recently you started noticing that what you were doing is you perhaps sacrificing far too much in this situation of yourself and maybe not getting enough in return. So the Wheel of Fortune upside down says that this is not done being a cycle. See, the Wheel of Fortune deals in cycles. And right now it's upside down, and usually right side up it means good things, and upside down it means like shit hits the fan. But in this situation, what I'm seeing is that it's telling you that this cycle is not done with this person, and that it is coming back, and you need to hold on for that. You've got the Page of Swords upside down, saying that the way, the immaturity that used to be there, and this is for the future, is gone. So let's consult Tarot of the Cat people to clarify the situation. So we got the Chariot. Could have been dealing with a Cancer, a water sign, or just an energy that pulls you into a lot of different directions. All right. So that's what happened. You met this soulmate. You met this person that you felt like was the one. That was it for you. And what has ended up happening is you felt like in the past that you were being pulled into a lot of different directions. And it wasn't just you. It was also them being really pulled into a lot of different directions. And once you felt like you were sacrificing too much. Now, you don't feel like you're doing that now unless you're still in this relationship. And that's what I hear. Unless you're still in this relationship, you feel like you're sacrificing too much right now. But before, it was a situation. This is like you're looking back and going, I sacrificed too much then. And now you're coming to an energy, like I said, where this cycle is not over, but you do have to realize, and this is the near future, and this is not for everybody. This stuff has already come in the past for lots of people, but for many higher soulmate relationships or twin flames or even karmic situations, this is just now like, I've noticed like there are divine feminines on the front line. And I was one of the divine feminines on the front line in October, November. Some started doing this in June, so they were even ahead of me. But in October, November, I started having to walk away and clear out and heal a situation where it seemed karmic, but it was actually a twin flame energy. But I had to clear out the karma. And a lot of people are now doing what I did, okay? So it's like some of us were on the front line going, this is what needs to be done. This needs to be paid attention to. And as we worked, it spread out to the collective. So that is what's going on now with divine feminine energy. And I feel like a lot of divine masculine energy too is you're coming to a place where you're letting go of the way this cycle used to be. This cycle's not done. This relationship is not completely over, but the cycle of where it used to be is now over. The way you used to show up is done. Okay. And for some people, if this was just a karmic soulmate situation, this is done now. You don't have to go through anymore. You are okay now. And you are going to be meeting someone that is very special to you. So if you're watching this video, it means that you are encountering a divine higher soulmate, one that like you will spend the rest of your life with in this life, or your twin flame, which you're working through energy with. And the Nine of Cups upside down says that you will feel like in the future that all is lost, like you will not get your wish, you will not get what you want, that you will not be fulfilled, you know, romantically, emotionally in this relationship. And if this was just simply a karmic relationship, like I said, twin flame relationships can often look very karmic in their initial stages, because there's so much that needs to be cleansed and cleared out. Because when you meet your twin flame, you're meeting the other half of yourself. How it was shown to me when I was doing a meditation is that I was seeing my twin flame from across like another dimension, like we were in different dimensions. And we were the same soul in different dimensions, looking at each other from these two separate dimensions. So these cards. Some of these cards are backward. And the book is still in here. So let's get that out. Right. Give me a second. All right, that looks okay now. Now, you really are going to know right now, we've got the Queen of Swords coming out to kind of confirm what I was going to say. You really are going to know right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, if this was just a karmic situation. You've been given signs and information, and just really ask your heart. You don't have to consult psychics. You don't have to keep asking questions. Ask your heart. Was this a karmic soulmate situation? And you will hear, like, if you will hear your heart tell you the truth of these situations. So here we go. Knight of Swords, Two of Swords, Wands, Three of Wands, and Two of Wands. And since all of these were upside down, I'm turning them all right side up. Okay. So the Knight of Swords said that the way the situation was unfolding, and this is the earlier waves, like there's different waves of twin flames and higher soulmate connections. And the way that these earlier waves of twin souls were doing is they were just coming to a place where they had to stop. Like I've said this in the last reading, they had to stop the way the cycle was before. And this is the earlier waves. And we've got the other waves now that are starting to do the same work that the earlier waves did, of separating, cutting off, and having to really work on coming to a place of healing for themselves. And that is happening now for many in the collective. And the Two of Swords says that you're starting to cut cords and ties that are no longer, and this is not in the relationship. This is cords and ties of relationships and friendships that are no longer serving your highest good. And you're starting to see that coming to fruition. This is a real time of truth for people right now. When it came to earlier waves of twin flames and higher soulmate contracts, there was a lot of lies being told between June and especially October and November for me. That was my wave. And there was a lot of things being told to cast doubt and lies. And the reason why that was happening was to really show you what you wanted and needed in this relationship, what you needed to be paying attention to, be looking at, be needing to look at your heart. And like we are a telepathic race, okay? And we know instinctively what really is the truth and what's really going on. And we're coming to a place, especially the earlier twin flame relationships that were um, um, not dissolving, but taking their separation time. They were being tested so that they could see if they'd actually come to that place where they were telepathic with each other, because twin flames are important. They're big and important on this planet because they're the template for the new relationships, and not just romantically, but they will like encompass everything. Just because when you're a twin flame, when you come back, when you're first in union, a lot of them, not all of them, because there are some that come into union and they're hunky-dory from the get-go, and that's wonderful. But there's a lot of twin flame unions that have to go through the fires of hell, and they and very much seem like a karmic soulmate relationship, um, to be able to come to union. And that's because all of the stuff from before and all the trauma and drama from before has to clear out. It's clearing out your wounds. Like, think of it as like your pus, and like all your pain in your life being cleared out so that you can be the very best version of yourself. And that brings it to a place of healing and fruition, so that you are in a whole state for yourself, so that you can be, the best version of yourself and be that new template of relationships. Because then when you come back into union, your best friends, your lovers, your soulmates, your twin flames, you are like every freaking thing to each other at once. Like, you love each other like there's no tomorrow. And it often takes a divine feminine having to finally walk away from the divine masculine to see what she really was. Because and this is not always true, because sometimes it's the divine feminine that's the runner. And I know all my life I was the person that ran away from everything. And I am the divine feminine. And when it came to my twin flame relationship, my divine masculine was the kind that always stayed, was the one that was always, steady and solid. And then when we came into union, it kind of flipped. I became the runner, the chaser, and they became the runner. And we flipped back and forth all the time. And it's just such a complex, layered relationship that that there is just no real definition you can put on it. When you get that dynamic, it really sends you. I forgot where I was at. I know that I was talking about twin flame relationships. Let's move on. Oh crap, I forgot where I was at. Anyway, so there is this really cutting away of, that's right, there's this cutting away of what relationships look like into what relationships truly are. And the twin flame relationship is really paramount for that, because like I said, it's the template for the new relationships on this planet. We are not in the place that we used to be anymore. We are not the people we used to be anymore. We are evolving. And in that evolution, twin flames are really coming together to be able to amplify and up that evolution. Also, higher contracted soulmates are doing that too. They're doing the same kind of work, even if they're not twin flames. If you're a twin flame, ask your heart this. Ask, is this person my twin flame? My heart says, no, they're not your twin flame. They are you. So you need to really ask your heart what this person is for you. So we're coming into 3 of Wands, which means like 2 is a place of union, but 3 is a place of all together. Because like, especially for twin flames, there's one body, and then there's one soul. So 3 really talks about twin flames being there, like they're coming back into union. And this is not just the earlier waves. The earlier waves are coming back into union, but there are newer waves that are starting to do the work now will in the next few months be coming back into union too. You're not getting your wish of the relationship yet, but you will get the relationship in time. You've just got to give it the due time that it needs. I thought I had 4 decks of tarot cards here. I've only got 3. So I guess that's what we're working with today. I really swore I had another deck of tarot cards here, and I left him over there. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be laying my love cards down. Okay. Oh boy, all the cards fell out. That's too many, so I'm not going to work with that. So we'll be just laying down the love cards now. I will remember my deck next week, I promise. I've been getting a lot of messages today to say that there are friends in these twin flames lives that do not have your highest good at heart. Especially, you really need to be paying attention to the obstacles set forth for you and what people have been saying about your twin flame. Okay, I personally know a twin flame couple that the lady is telling me that all of his friends are trying to paint her as a harlot, and this woman could be anything but. She's just like so cool. She's one of the best people I've ever met. And his friends, and their female friends, are trying to paint her as a harlot, as some kind of, a demonic possessed being that is just trying to hurt him. Now, this happens in twin flame relationships more than it is thought, because the divine masculine is really being tested to see if they're listening to, like I told you before, the intuition. Like I told you before, this is about, telepathy, and twin flames are the template for a lot of stuff, but telepathy is one of them. And he needs to be listening to his heart. She needs to be listening to her heart. They need to be listening to what's really going on inside, instead of what people that might be jealous or have ulterior motives or want to be with that person is saying. Like, there are friends that you think are such good friends, so loyal and so loving, that are doing nothing but causing damage, even if they seem like they're doing good. You've got to really, really be careful who you trust with this twin flame union, the information of this twin flame union, because even those people that you think are so good for you really are doing a lot more harm than good. So we've got the soulmate card. Okay, and then I always pull, just got a feeling to pull these. Okay. Ooh. All right, so soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe that, and they will manifest physically. Now, we talked about higher contracted soulmates, and we talked about twin flames. And this card is telling me that, you weren't prepared for the kind of destruction that especially a twin flame relationship can bring, being your mirror. And it really caused like the flames of the twin flame, like twin flame. And the reason why it's called twin flame is my team doesn't really like twin flame, because they say that twin flame implies that you are similar, like twins born on this earth, like identical twins. And the thing about it is you're not identical twins. You are the same soul in two bodies. Okay. So this tells me that twin flame is not a great word to use, but the word flame does have its right connotations, because when you meet your twin flame, and not all twin flame relationships are like this, but when you meet your twin flame, it kind of burns through all the crap in your life, whether you want it to or not, whether you like it or not. So you manifested them and then weren't prepared for all of the stuff that actually brought, because that is your true mirror. That is really telling you, like I said, you're looking at each other from another dimension. It's almost like transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Remember, I was just talking about this. Fire is very transforming. Like when you get a volcano erupt, that is molten fire that's coming out. And as like in Hawaii, when it spreads across the land, what it does is it burns through everything in its path, but those ashes actually bring new growth and fertilize new growth. And then as it kind of seeps off into the ocean, it creates new earth. So as much as it looks like everything is being destroyed around you, is as much as things are actually transforming into a better healing place that actually expands you even further. Okay. So we've got When we pass from this world, we take nothing with us but our soul and the memories we have shared with the ones we love. So remember how I talked about with this card, the cycle is not done, but things need to be faced for exactly what they are, and things need to be let go of. And then reunion comes back. And this is talking about you need to allow the death of things inside of you that are no longer serving you, and the death of friendships that are doing nothing but harming this relationship. Because quite frankly, what I keep hearing and being told by my guides is that actually the twin flame relationship right now, and I don't like that word, but that relationship is the most paramount right now because it is the most transformational. Because when it transforms, when it heals the collective, even people that are not twin flames. It brings them into telepathy. It brings them into higher consciousness. A lot of people that I've been working with healing, when we work and we clear out the junk because of my energy, it helps start upgrading them. So when you upgrade others. And that is how it works in this dimension. We are born in this dimension so that we can bring, our template and our energy here. So with everything going on here, the friendships not being granted the relationship right away for the later waves of twin flames and higher soul flame, twin flame contracts, there needs to be balance. But in order for you guys to come back into union, first and foremost, you need to love each other and get to know each other as you are. Laughter is the best therapy. Have fun with each other. And remember, love is the greatest healer. Remember how I talked about your best friends, your lovers, your soulmates, your initially usually karmic soulmates too. All of this comes into play, but you've got to come back to understanding that it's not just all about the work, and it's not just all about these contracts. It's also about loving your life and loving each other in the body you're in. All right. After this, I will pull the angel cards. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Remember how I talked about there was a lady I know, and this is happening in a lot of twin flame relationships right now, so that the divines and the higher soulmate contracts will see the telepathy and trust themselves and trust their relationship. These are friends that are not serving you. So don't make decisions based on what they say. Make decisions based on your beloved, because that's the most important. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other, and your relationship will magically transform. Now, that right there is very telling of what I've been talking about with the friendships and about yourself and about the playfulness and coming back to each other. No matter what came before, you're coming back to each other. And I know it doesn't seem like that because the pain can be so incredibly intense, but you will come back to each other. You're meant to. And if you're not meant to in this life, a lot of people say some twin flames are not meant to come back to each other in this life. And I really don't buy that one. Okay. I really don't. I really don't play that game, because if you meet, there's honestly a reason why. And if you don't come back to each other, usually it's because the person died or you're not doing the freaking work. And as a twin flame, you can do the work on your twin flame because that's your soul. You are not doing anything wrong by healing and helping them. You have to let them go. You have to allow them their journey. Yes, but you can also do the healing work with them. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, and you'll be surprised where it leads. Remember, I said you have to let them go. You have to let them do their thing and walk their journey, yes, so that they come back to you. But you are welcome to heal them. All right, now the angel cards. You have to trust this journey. And even in death, you're united. The thing about twin flames, as I noticed, and higher soul contracts, is you are always one. You are always one. I thought when me and my beloved separated that we were no longer one. But I did a lot of work, and I came to realize that we are the same soul. We are not ever going to be separated. Shabana S. Hello. I actually addressed that earlier in the video if you go back and watch. The ocean, assertiveness, fresh air. Okay. So for all of you guys that are having a really hard time in separation right now, and you're having a hard time with the relationship that is crumbled and hurting, I get this card right here. I know this is the last card, but I want to read it first. It's fresh air. Your body needs refreshment and oxygenated air generated by grass, trees, plants, and flowers. Spend time outside today, as near to Mother Nature's cradle as possible. Open your curtains and windows and refresh your home as well. Well, if it's in a warm place, because I'm in a cold place, you don't want to do that right now. But get outside, get some fresh air, work on loving you. I know it seems silly, but it actually helps a lot just to get out of the house at least 30 minutes. Go sit outside and meditate some beautiful place. Just sit outside and enjoy some beautiful place. It really does help with the healing process. And I know that doesn't seem like it would, but it really does help. So get out there. Think of yourself right now, because if you are in love with a higher contracted soulmate or a twin flame, that is you. And you are loving, by loving yourself, you're loving them. You will not come back into union until you learn to love and accept yourself, till you learn to love and give to yourself. Okay? Assertiveness. The situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested, yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. So there has been a lot of situations for you two in the past, like a lot of divine feminines do this. And sometimes the divine masculines do this. They don't want to speak out of fear. They're afraid to say what's really going on and what's on their mind, because they are afraid that if they do, they will run the other one off. Like a lot of times when this relationship starts, not all, but a lot of them, it's really on shaky ground because no one knows what's really going on, because it's just so intense, and the highs are intense and the lows are intense. Everything's so intense. People are afraid to say their truth out of fear. And the ocean. The deep blue sea speaks to your soul. Before I read this too much, this right here, I'm being told to tell everyone, is about emotion. Okay? This is about your emotional depth. Okay, an emotional connection. The deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about the desired effect. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash all cares and concerns away. So you need to get really in touch with your love and your emotions. You need to get in touch with who you are as a person, as a being, and especially as a higher contracted twin flame, soulmate and twin flame, so that you can bring yourself back to a place of healing and love. Like I told you, we are an empathic race, and we find that empathic love through working and healing with each other. Twin flames do. So it's about your emotion, it's about your love, it's about your healing work for yourself. Anyway, thanks. I'll see you next week.